Quick announcement before we get to the review. If you happen to watch this video before Saturday, January 2nd, 2016, remember that there is the first ever Binge Watchers live stream in honor of 100 videos of Binge Watchers on January 2nd, Saturday, 2016. If you're watching this in the future, there's probably a live stream happening sometime near where you're watching this, unless this is like way in the future. Hello in the future. Watch the live stream. Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 2 of House of Cards. So Season 2 follows Frank Underwood as he continues to power through the political ranks at Capitol Hill and the White House. Season 2 picks up right after Season 1 left off, and if you're binge watching these seasons back to back, the transition is seamless. The main characteristics of the show, all the things that made it House of Cards, are still there. There's still a heavy focus on Frank. It's still very much the Frank Underwood show, but at this point you probably won't have it any other way. You still have multiple stories all happening at once. There's still a lot to keep track of, and I was still amazed by how a show that progresses almost entirely through dialogue can keep me on the edge of my seat and lying to myself about watching just one more episode. Season 1 told an intense, multi-sided story. I felt that Season 2 managed to do the same, but the stakes just felt higher. Everything feels like it's happening on a larger scale. If you've watched my Season 1 review, you heard me talk a little bit about my impressions of the first few episodes of Season 2. Mainly, I said that I don't think it's going to be as good as Season 1. And that was because even though Season 2 starts with a holy shit kind of moment, I felt that the first few episodes were weaker than what I've come to expect based on Season 1. There are a lot of side stories in this season, and there's one in particular that I felt just slows the whole thing down and is the weakest link in the season. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but the story has to do with the dark web and hacking and all that stuff. Having said that, House of Cards deals with side stories just like Frank deals with his problem, meaning that it's hard for a problem to recover once Frank has dealt with it. So unlike side stories in other shows, here most of them begin and end over the course of a few episodes. You do have a few more personal stories in this season, which I felt were great for character development. The show knows that we understand who Frank is and who Claire is. It's done introducing them. This season explores them and does it very well. Season 1 wasn't exactly a sitcom, but Season 2 just feels darker. I mean that in a few ways. Some of the stories and the things we learn about these characters take some pretty dark turns, but also the portrayal of American politics becomes more depressing, I guess. Obviously, I have no idea if what goes on House of Cards is even close to reality, but you'll probably find yourself thinking that even if this is remotely close, nobody actually cares about the people that live in the country these people are supposed to be running. Everything has a motive and everything has to do with money or power or both. It is legitimately terrifying. There are no good guys. I'm no expert on American politics, but that does kind of sound like Israeli politics. As for Frank himself, he remains one of the most charismatic characters I've ever seen, and you don't see Kevin Spacey for a second. It's Frank Underwood, and it's incredible. The performances are great across the board, again, except for that one story that kind of holds the season back. Actually, there's also another story that has to do with Freddy, where parts of it just felt a little bit out of place, but it didn't bother me nearly as much. As a whole, I still feel Season 1 is the stronger season. It was, for lack of a better word, tighter, more efficient. But Season 2 delivers something a little bit different. We get more of the things that we want, mainly the badassery of Frank Underwood. But we also get a lot of new stuff. Bottom line, should you watch it? If you liked Season 1 even a little bit, you should definitely watch this season. Season 1 was great, and it's hard to step up from something like that. So Season 2 doesn't quite do that, but it expands on Season 1 and gives the story higher stakes, which makes every decision feel more dangerous. But all of that is just my opinion. How did you feel Season 2 compares to Season 1? Did you feel it was more of the same, or did you also feel that Season 2 gave us something a little bit different? And also, who's your favorite character besides Frank? If you're talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments, and if you're finding binge watchers for the first time, welcome! I'd like to invite you to join the binge watchers community, where we're talking about TV every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with reviews, news, discussions, all kinds of great stuff, all for you fellow TV lovers and binge watchers. So you can go ahead and click that big subscribe button to join in on the fun. You can check out any of the other videos on the channel. If you want to talk about anything else, you can check out my personal channel. But in any case, keep binging, and I will see you next time.